Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well whenever you tune in and see this day or night. So, this is going to be a general reading for Cancer and Leo. We're going to do a joint reading, and so I've pulled Cancer's cards ahead of time. And then after we do Cancer, I'll just pull everything and recenter, and then we will do Leo. Okay, so this is a general reading for both signs, so it can cover things like love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc. All right, it is also a timeless reading for both signs as well. So that can mean that, as an example, it could resonate for a year from now in the future, or a year in the past, 6 months in the past, 6 months in the future, 3 months. Okay, you kind of get the point, right? So it may resonate for everyone differently, since it is a general reading for multiple people. All right. And also, if it doesn't resonate, that's okay too. It happens, right? There should be at least some kind of message for you in one of these readings. But if you don't already know your other placements, for example, what is your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign, I always encourage everyone to find that information out. Even if you don't have your exact birth time, you may not necessarily be able to find all of the information, but you can still find out what your Venus sign is, right? So for matters of love or love language, you look for Venus. If your Venus, as an example, is in Scorpio, you then would go and watch a Scorpio reading, right? So there are different ways to find out more about yourself, right? So ultimately, that is your goal, right? So to find out more about yourself, then you can find out more about others and how to interact and vice versa, all that good stuff. So what else did I want to mention? Yes, if you like this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. It does help the channel. It's a free way to support, and it just shares it with other people. The more likes we can get, we can have other people check it out too. So always appreciate that, but you don't have to, of course. And then also to if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to subscribe, it is free as well. So all you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right and make sure it's blue and active, and I'll just notify you when I put out new videos. What else was I going to say? Yes, also when we were talking about the sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign, one more thing too, depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate at different times with different aspects of your chart, right? So for an example, you may be reading your moon sign and you resonate more with that than your sun sign or your rising sign, or vice versa. So it's always cool to check it out just by Googling it. And I think Astrology Cafe is the one that I usually use for free birth charts. They also have astrology notes throughout the year. And so I have that link in the astrology notes that I do for my channel here, but also in the description box below, there should be something there from Astrology Cafe, or you can just look it up, of course, too. So anyway, with all that being said, I hope everyone is doing well during this Mercury retrograde that we're still in. And of course, depending on when you see this, I'm filming this on the day after, well, yeah, the day of the blood full moon in Scorpio, and it's also a lunar eclipse. So, you know, it started at midnight last night for me, right? Again, depending on where you are in the world. So there's a lot of culmination energy, big energy. It's actifying, you know, anytime we have eclipses, the north node and the south node. So we actually have the north node in Taurus right now, and the south node has been in Scorpio as well. So if you have any Scorpio placements, you could have been feeling this more than others, perhaps. Of course, it's all relative and it depends. Yeah, I did a little full moon ritual with some people from work, a big gathering that my boss does, which is really cool, at the beach. And I should next time take a video. I didn't even think of it at the time because I've been going to a couple of them for a while, but hopefully I can do a video or at least a picture or something and share with you guys because it was really cool. And what else was I going to say? I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to try for each reading to stay in like the 15-20 minute mark. So I do have my timer here. We're going to try our best, but yeah, let's see what we have here for you, Cancer. We're going to start off by doing a little sound bell just for some grounding and healing for the reading for you guys and for myself. So just be aware sometimes it is loud. So if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or you can just listen to. All right. All right, Cancer, let's get into your reading here. Let's put this over here. All right. So the new way that I've been doing this lately is we're going to do a 4-week time period, right? So from May 20th till about June 20th. It's not exact, right? It can be a little bit before, a little bit after, but we're doing one card for each week. Then we'll have your confirmation card. We also will always talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each of these tarot decks that I'm using. And then we have one oracle card at the end. So yes, let's get into a Cancer. All right. And I kind of wrote down, what the time frames may be. Again, they're not exact. So the first week could be from around May 20th through May 29th. The second week could be from May 29th through June 6th. The third week could be from around June 7th through June 13th. And then the fourth week could be around June 14th through June 20th. Again, nothing is exact or set in stone, right? All right, so let's go ahead and call out your cards here. Right off the bat, Cancer, you do have 4 major arcanas in your 4 cards here, right? So that's like really powerful. Since I've been doing these sets of readings this way, I don't think so far I've had all of them be major arcanas. And your confirmation card is a major arcana too. So technically you have 5 major arcanas. And it's not a competition, right? It's not necessarily good or bad, let's say, when you have a lot of major arcanas in your reading, but it does speak of a lot of change. Okay, so it could be change coming up. It could be changes that have already started to take place or started to take place in the past, whatever that means for you. So your recent past could be a couple days ago, hours, minutes, weeks, months, years, right? And the same thing for the future, okay? But we're going to just set it as like a general timeline for, again, from May 20th through June 20th, all right? So, yes, Cancer, lots of good stuff here is definitely happening. And I feel that with your first card, and I always kind of say this, is that the first card in particular, but can be throughout the reading, is again energy from the recent past. So we start off with the Empress, we have the Hierophant, we have the Hermit in reverse, we have the Justice card, and then I don't usually talk about the confirmation card until later, but I'll just call it out, right? You have the Chariot, which is the official Cancer card in the Zodiac, okay? So we have Libra energy, we have Taurus energy, we have Virgo energy, we have Libra again, a little bit of Scorpio, we have Cancer, okay? Just to name a few. So you could be dealing with a Libra, you could be dealing with a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Scorpio, or you could be dealing even with, let's say, another Cancer, but not necessarily, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be those things. It could be that you have a lot of those signs predominantly in your own birth chart, or the other person, if you're dealing with just one person, let's say, or looking to this reading for just one person that you're dealing with. It could be that they have a lot of those signs predominantly in their chart, or vice versa, right? Or it could have something to do with the collective unconscious or the general astrology at this time. So I do like to call them out when I remember, when I see the other zodiac signs here as far as the majors. But let's go ahead and get into your reading here, deeper into the reading, because we're already in it. All right. So Cancer, you have the Empress here as your first card, right? And this is that Libra energy that I was talking about. But this is a really abundant card, a really beautiful energy. Here you see the way it's shown in this deck is this pregnant woman is sitting on her throne, and she's the Empress, right? There's a waterfall in the background, and the water in the tarot represents our emotions. So she's controlling her emotions in a positive way to her benefit, right? But the Empress is also the businesswoman, the CEO, okay, of the tarot, as we would say, right? But it's not, we're not talking about gender, it's just shown as a woman, right? But it could be any expression of whoever you are, right? Regardless of how the card looks, right? But here is also really feminine energy. You even see the feminine symbol at the bottom of the a card here carved into the side of her throne. And so we all have, of course, positive and negative energies within ourselves. So this is a very feminine energy in particular, right? Not saying that masculine is bad in any way. No, we're just saying that it is that particular vibrational frequency, okay? But this is a beautiful card to start your reading off here with, Cancer. It could be that you are embodying some of this energy of the Empress, or someone's inspiring you, or a mentor, a teacher, what have you, that's around you, okay? But when we talk about the Empress, right, her being the businesswoman, the CEO, she delegates tasks to others, right? She's using her emotions in a positive way, but also she's planting seeds for the future. And that is the metaphor of her pregnant belly, right? So she's like, okay, what's going to happen in the next 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, okay, after, right? So it's a beautiful metaphor here, all right? And so, again, this is the first card, the first week. We said it could be from around May 20th through May 29th, not exact, but it could have started a little bit in the past, or even coming up, right, since we're not officially at May 20th yet. What is today? The 16th, yes. I was like, wait, I have to check. Okay, so really nice energy. And then, when I actually mentioned, before I go forward, when I said that this could be either you, Cancer, someone you're dealing with, someone in your environment, right? And I said a teacher or mentor or something like that. Well, I didn't even realize, I don't always say that with this card, but your next card is the Hierophant, right? So that is the teacher, the mentor, the spiritual guru, the priest, somebody who is leading others and helping get answers for them, or give them advice or guidance in some way. So here we see this high priestess, Greek-looking woman, and these two women below her, okay? And so this, when we pull up the Hierophant, right, this is also, right, we're technically still in, well, I'm filming this in Taurus season, but by the time we get to this week, it will already be Gemini season. So this is a Taurus card, Taurus energy. It could be referencing something that started back in Taurus season, or it doesn't necessarily have to mean anything at all. It's just kind of that embodiment of Taurus energy, okay? So it could be that when we start off with these two like powerhouse cards here, Cancer, that you are really feeling more in your power, or the other person you're dealing with is, or multiple people, general environment situation, okay? But this is super positive, Cancer, and it's almost it's like, is it Cancer season or is it Gemini season, right? Because there's a lot of really nice things happening here for you, okay? Particularly in those kind of 2-3 week period that we were talking about, the middle of May, okay, to also like that first week of June or so. All right. Now moving forward, you really only have, let's say, one particular energy block blockage, a little bit of stagnant energy. But everything, you know, always happens for a reason. I'm just making sure I have a little bit of music here in the background for the dogs. Okay. So your third card is, remember that Virgo energy. It's the Hermit in the reverse position, though. So there could be something around, you know, that second week of June, because we said it was around June 7th through the 13th or so. Again, not exact, right? But it's the Hermit in the reverse position. So it could be here, Cancer, that either you yourself or another person or energy in your environment is not listening to their intuition, is not willing to slow down enough to hear the answers or the advice or your gut reaction to something or someone else's gut reaction to something, right? With the Hermit in the reverse position. Because normally we see this older man with his light at the edge of the cliff by himself, right? And he looks like a wizard, okay? He's got the age, he's got the years he's put in to try to understand himself more. But it's in reverse here. So it's a little bit, again, of that energetic blockage or stagnant energy or slowing down of energy. And so, you know, it doesn't necessarily, of course, have to be a bad thing. But this is a perfect place to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your deck here to kind of figure out maybe why we have that energetic blockage or stagnant energy. Okay, so yes, let's do this one first. I'm just like trying to decide. All right, so this energy can be from the past. Again, it could be a couple days ago, weeks, months, years, etc. Okay, take it how it resonates for you, right? But what we have on the top of the deck is the Three of Wands in the right side up position, and then on the bottom we have the Seven of Pentacles also in the right side up position here, Cancer. Okay, so it looks like in the past, okay, it could be recent past or even further back than that, whatever the past means for you, right? There was somebody that could have been in a soul searching type of mood or vibration where they were watching other ships, okay, going out to sea and where they were going. So they were putting themselves, this man who's standing at the edge of the cliff is putting himself in those other people's shoes. Like, okay, where are they going? How have they gotten to their own path? And can it give me any lessons or advice for the path that I may be on, right? But it's also, okay, fiery energy, the wands energy here. There's little tiny sprouts on the wands that we have. So that's prosperity, abundance is building, right? It's not, let's say, 10 of wands, okay? It's only 3, but there is growth there and prosperity, all right? And it also can be a little bit of this energy of him figuring out his own emotions, because again, the water in the tarot represents the emotions here, okay? Now with that, and this also could be, you could say that the Three of Wands right side up would be very similar energy if this Hermit card was right side up. Both are kind of going within, trying to understand themselves, ask questions, get advice, even, you know, not necessarily just from themselves, but those other ships. I don't know if you guys can see it in the card, in the background here, okay? But then when we have this Seven of Pentacles in the right side up position, not but when, it's almost like it is a complementary energy, because the Seven of Pentacles is about how much work have I done and how much work do I still need to do. This could be in a job, you know, we're talking about actual work. It could be at a career. It could be at a relationship, romantic, platonic. It could be with friends and family. It could be health. It could be money. It could be anything, right? Starting a business, whatever it is, okay? But it's getting honest about those things, and it's in the right side up position. So far, when you see this man, he's carrying his little basket here of the coins of the money he's already made. Okay, so the coins in the tarot represent money or the pentacles, but not only that, it's whatever you want to manifest in your life. So he's picked the fruit and he went to the market and he sold the fruit and then he got the money, right? But he still has a lot more work to do. So it's about being honest, okay, with yourself and others, you know, seeing your efforts in the correct way with the Seven of Pentacles in the right side up position. Now, again, we're talking about these things as past energy and why this Hermit could be in the reverse position. So maybe there's a situation going on here for you, Cancer, or the other person or environment where, or multiple people, where Perhaps you are not evaluating yourself correctly, or others aren't evaluating your work or your effort into something correctly, and that may be why the Hermit is in reverse, because it is making you second what is I'm trying to talk here. It's making you second guess yourself, okay? And so that's why you're like not trusting your intuition, not willing to slow down if it's you, Cancer, or another person or multiple people, general environment here. But the past doesn't look bad, right? There's growth, there's progress here, forward momentum. And so it could be, sorry, that was a little loud. It could be that, some of you are, let's say, worried that if this good progress that happened in the past and all these cards that came before it, right, in the current, future, present energies of the Empress and the Hierophant, those powerhouse cards, those are also for momentum and progress, that maybe some of you here are worried that it's not going to last, or the shoe's going to fall. What is that saying? The shoe's going to fall, or the other. Basically, the meaning, right, being that if things are going really well, somebody could be worried that they can't trust it. It's going, like, let's say, too well, maybe. Okay, for some people, not everybody. But then we also want to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of the other deck in relation to that Hermit in the reverse position too. Okay, so here we have the Princess of Staves in the reverse position and the Four of Staves in the right side up position. And this is, again, past energy, okay? So, and we're talking about it with the Hermit in reverse, right? So it looks like here in the past, Cancer, that perhaps somebody's confidence wasn't all the way there in the past, or somebody's loyalty wasn't being favored or celebrated or respected or something like that, right? Because normally if the Princess of Staves or Princess of Wands, as she's known as right side up, she has that dog next to her, right? That represents loyalty. Okay, but remember, it was reversed, okay? And it could have also been that maybe somebody in the past in some way here wasn't ready to level up, because normally if you have a prince or a princess in the right side up position, they're eventually going to become a queen or a king. But there was a hesitancy here, or a slowing down of energy. It could have even been something as simple as it quite wasn't the right time for that to happen yet. Excuse me, but it also could be that there was, again, this energy here, Cancer, of somebody maybe valuing other people's opinions over their own intuition with the Hermit in the reverse position. Because then we also have the Four of Staves right side up. And so this is a celebratory energy, all right? It's a union card. It could be about romantic unions, platonic unions between friends and family, work partnerships, whatever it is. But there's this comfortable energy here, right? You see these two Egyptian people talking to each other, and there's wine and cheese in the foreground, okay? So it's really just about, again, maybe you in the past, yes, I know I'm behind, but that's all right. You in the past here, Cancer, was, you had more time to get the advice from someone in a sacred union, or the other person had more time, or there was a more comfortable, what is the word? I can't even think of it. Familiarity with, right, feeling more familiar, comfortable with getting advice from someone here in some type of sacred union, again, whether it's romantic or platonic, or even union of different parts of yourself here, okay? But then, it's with that Hermit in reverse. It's almost like if you don't have that as your support system or a backup here or something, Cancer, or you're putting or in the past you put more value on other people's opinions or advice here, or maybe it's just something that you have to do for yourself, right? And so it's again just making you a little bit hesitant of your own intuition and inner guidance, your gut reaction to things. And so maybe that is really why the Hermit was in the reverse position here. But again, it could just be an energetic blockage or a little bit of stagnant energy. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. All right. So moving forward as your fourth card here, and we said this could be around June 14th through about June 20th, we have the Justice card in the right side up position. And so that is Libra energy again. You know, it is interesting, Cancer. I would have to go back and look at some of your past readings, but there was a time that, you know, you and Sagittarius kept getting the Justice card like repeatedly in a couple of your readings. Okay. So it could really speak to some people in particular, wherever Cancer is in your chart, right? We all have Cancer somewhere, even if it's just talking about your houses, right? In astrology, in your birth chart. But it's like this energy of rules, order, morality, right? Bringing something to justice, something being weighed, right? When you think of the literal justice scales, we don't see it depicted in this tarot deck, right? But it would be like, what is weighing heavier than the other? Are things balanced, right? Libra energy is all about balance. Justice energy is all about balance, right? And so here we have this snake kind of wrapping around the bottom of her foot here, and she's holding a sword on her lap, and her eyes are covered. So she is trying to use her justice, and this is not necessarily the justice symbol, right? This is the Greek goddess Triki, okay, of abundance and good luck, but she also has her eyes blindfolded, right? Okay, so a lot of times when you see other, like the Lady Justice, that's, you know, pretty typical to see, her eyes are also blindfolded. So it's like using or wanting to be in touch with innate justice themes, right? Again, a lot of times it's similar energy to the Judgment card, but in the tarot, if you're familiar, but not the same, right? Because this is more about where is the evolution, and there is duality in the card too, right? It has the dark column and the light column that you also would see like in the High Priestess card, okay? So it's like, where is the evolution of truth and justice? She's holding the sword, and the sword in tarot represents our intellect, our crown chakra, our logical mind, our brain, right? So how can we bring that together with also our innate knowing, our intuition, right? When she's being blindfolded, that could be her heart chakra as well. Okay, so it's going to be different for everybody here, but when this Justice card shows up in relation to all your other cards here, Cancer, I don't see it as a bad thing. I really see it as a good thing here. It could be that something is finally brought to justice, or more truth comes out about something here. There's now more of a balance, okay, of something going on. But you know, with your confirmation card that we're going to talk about it in a second, and even again, the other cards that came before it, I see it as a good thing. Okay, I want it to be, again, that snake evolution that's going around, because there's also the Bible, the commandments, the rules, the justice, court systems, right, in the background. So it's like, how can we go from treating people correctly, like setting those rules, but also having evolution to the current time period that we're in? What is truth? What is, again, the light and the dark? What are the gray areas? All that stuff kind of comes up here. But I see it as a good thing, and I see just generally that balance. Okay, so moving forward, because I know I was trying to stick to the time here. Your confirmation card here, Cancer, is so beautiful because it's literally you, okay? It's the Chariot. It's the official Cancer card, okay? So when this shows up here, and this is this confirmation card, it's kind of confirming all of the cards we've already talked about. It's like, it could be that maybe towards the middle of June here, Cancer, You are now feeling more like yourself, okay? There could be renewed sense of confidence, all right? You could, again, be dealing with another Cancer. It could be referring to something happening during Cancer season coming up this summer in July, right? June, July. And so it's beautiful, right? It is, when we talked about the balance, right, in the Justice card too, what do we have here at the end of the Chariot? There is always a line. Here it's shown as a pharaoh, okay, but it is the masculine and feminine energies, the light and the dark that we all have inside of us to, again, bring the balance together and that support system that's going to carry him on his chariot even further into progress for momentum in the future, okay? But I see like beautiful confidence here. So let's do also, before we switch over to Leo, let's do your little oracle card here, Cancer. So this is the Rumi or Remy, depending on how you pronounce it, Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. And so Rumi was a 13th century Persian poet, and he was one of my favorites. And so when I found out that someone had taken his poetry and matched it with some oracle cards and really beautiful paintings, I was like, oh, I have to get it, right? So anyway, your Rumi oracle card for this time period, Cancer, is card number 25. Beyond the threshold of fear. And here we see this kind of figure, right? It could be man or woman, right? Whatever. And it's almost like the sun here. It could be a lamp. We don't know, but there's darkness all in the foreground. But then in the future, there's the light, okay? So really beautiful. And I feel that right off the bat, even before referring to the book, right? Because I do like to read the poem and a little meditation that comes with it real quickly. That light in this card could be the light that is coming from the Hermit in reverse, his torch. If his torch was right side up, right, could be the intuition, right? The inner light, the guidance system. So let's see what it says, though, officially. All right. Here we go, Cancer. All right. Beyond the threshold of fear. Enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back, like a bar behind the door. Oh, how I celebrate you. After so long away from home, you are finally returning. Beyond the threshold of fear, you dispense with your doubts, hesitations, cautions, and tentativeness. They are old friends with whom you no longer have anything in common. Goodbye, old friends. I wish you well, you say, while turning your face to the bludgeoning light of a new and yet ancient world. That's pretty. You are visiting as though for the first time, and yet somehow also remember deep in your sacred heart that you've been here before. Finally, we can sit together in the charming courtyard at home. We shall tell our tales of adventure and laugh, and we shall dance and sing. Eventually, day shall pass into night, and we'll gaze in awe, and our minds utterly blank, rendered dumb in sweet submission to beauty as we watch the world spinning on her axis. That's so pretty. Okay. I love it. So let's see what the little meditation says if you want to get into the energy of this card, right? So it says, place your hands at your belly and say aloud, with the aid of Rumi, who loves me without condition, and the loving grace of Mother Earth, I lay down all old fear that no longer serves my greater soul purpose. I release it now with complete forgiveness, acceptance, and gratitude. Be at peace, old fear. Thank you for teaching. Thank you for your teachings. Return to Mother Earth now. I no longer bind you to me. All right, that's pretty powerful. Okay. And then it says, slowly and purposefully move your hands from your belly towards the earth, as if taking the fear from your body and dropping it with reverence and respect into the receiving earth at your feet. Repeat that movement 3 times or for however long feels necessary. You may also like to repeat that movement with your hands, from moving from your heart down towards the earth, and then from your head, sweeping gently to the earth. When you're ready, say, sorry, my glasses. Through the grace of Rumi, fear is replaced with wisdom. I am gently, powerfully restored to my innate divine radiance, ready to live my life with love, filled with trust, patience, boldness, and tender affection. So be it. You have finished your honoring ritual. So really, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I've done some Reiki training in my life, which is like the Japanese energy healing, if you're familiar, where you place your hands on someone's body or you hover right above. And so you act as a receiver, helping the person heal themselves, right? So it can be almost like you're tuning into their radio station that is that unique person's vibration, and you're helping you become stronger, right? And you'll feel the energy, coming from your hands when you're practicing this. But as you go through the training of Reiki, you're always supposed to take your hands and shake it at the earth, right? This energy was somebody else's that you are trying to help heal, okay? You're not taking your energy, healing them. You're not God. You're not greater than them. You're just trying to support them and being more themselves. But then you always take it. You can wash your hands, of course, before, but you always take it and throw it at the earth, because the earth is the grounding energy that will take, if there was good or bad energy there, and recycle it the way that it's supposed to. So when I read that, I just thought, oh, that's so cool, because we do that in Reiki, right? So of course, there's always going to be crossovers with different cultures and people and stuff. So anyway, Cancer, thank you so much. I hope you found something from this message here this time. So let's go ahead and shuffle the cards for Leo here. Dear Leo. All right. Mm-hmm. Let's throw that in there. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about earlier? I mentioned a little bit, of course, the Mercury Retrograde that we're still in while I'm filming this. I mentioned that it is also the blood full moon in Scorpio and lunar eclipse going on today, depending on when you watch this. Where, it's happening everywhere, but when is more the thing. All right, so I'm going to shuffle those in just a second. But it's activating the North Node and the South Node anytime you have eclipses. We had the partial solar eclipse back on, I have my notebook right here so I can check. I think it was, that's a good question. Hold on. It was April 30th. We had the new moon solar partial eclipse in Taurus. Okay. So we can say it was kind of, would that be 2 weeks ago? I don't know. Something like that. Whatever it is. Okay. So when we talk about the North Node and the South Node, the North Node can be seen as more of your life's goal or path, why you're put on this earth, matters of career, that kind of thing. And then your South Node is more of your karmic lessons from either past lives or even currently this life, okay? So it is in, the North Node is in Taurus currently, and the South Node is in Scorpio. So I was saying earlier that if you have a lot of Scorpio placements during this full moon, you may be feeling some extra energy there. All right, so let's go ahead and clear the energy and get into the Leo energy here. All right. So, messages for Leo for their highest vibration for May 20th through June 20th. What does Leo need to see? What does Leo need to know for the highest good? Messages for Leo for their highest vibration. I don't know where that's going off because I didn't even set it. Sometimes that happens. Anyway. All right, let's see here. So we're just going to do a little fish pile is what I like to call it. Throw everything in there and see what we get. Okay. All right, so we're just taking one card. This is the Oracle deck for Leo. Messages for Leo's highest good. For May 20th to June 20th, Leo. All right. So we got that. Put this over here. All right. So now we're going to get 4 cards from the tarot deck. Messages for Leo. Leo the Lion, fire sign, Leo the Lion. For May 20th through June 20th. What does Leo need to see? Messages for Leo the Lion. For May 20th through June 20th. Messages for Leo. What do they need to see here? Just for the highest vibration. Messages for Leo. Messages for Leo. June 20th through May 20th. Messages for Leo. Messages for Leo. June 20th through May 20th. Messages for Leo. Messages for Leo. What do you need to see? All right. Messages for Leo. I'm going to draw 4 cards. Messages for Leo for the highest vibration. Messages for Leo the Lion for the highest vibration. June 20th, May 20th. May 20th through June 20th. Messages for Leo the Lion. Ah, all right. Oh, you don't necessarily want to do that. Okay, we've got 4 cards here. And let's make sure before we pick the top and the bottom, how Spirit wants to receive these cards. We have 2 reversals, so let's go ahead and make sure they want it. Okay, they want that one. Okay, so they want them both reversed. We confirm, so then we'll take the top and the bottom. All right, leave these over here. And get our other deck here, just shuffling. Messages for Leo the Lion. For May 20th through June 20th, messages for Leo. I always feel like roaring when I do your shuffling, Leo, sometimes. All right. I don't think you guys want to hear that, so I'll spare you. Oh, all right. Messages for Leo the Lion. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Leo the Lion. May 20th to June 20th. Messages for Leo the Lion. May 20th through June 20th. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for the highest vibration? Leo the Lion. Messages for Leo the Lion. Wait. I want to take these. I need a little more space. Hold on. Let me get it. All right. Messages for Leo the Lion. All right, so let's just throw them all in the pile and mix it up here and go fishing, whatever you want to call it. All right. Messages for Leo the Lion for May 20th through June 20th. What does Leo need to see? What does Leo need to know? I think the stream stopped for a second, but I think it's back. Hopefully everything is all good. We just pulled the confirmation card for Leo. And we're going to take the top and the bottom. All right. We've got thunderstorms going on over here, so could be why for a second, but I think, let me just double check. I think we're still okay. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going and hopefully it's okay. All right, let's see here. I'm just gonna put this over to the side for the end for our oracle card. So let's go ahead and organize, bring everything down, and then I want to make sure I take your picture here, Leo, because I took a picture of all of the cards. I forgot to say that earlier for Cancer. But yes, everything will be uploaded later after the live, and so you know, you can always check that out if you want to. It's usually in the description box below. You just follow the instructions there to my Facebook. And where the picture will be for each zodiac sign. So just forgive me 1 second while I take a picture here. And yeah, just move everybody over. All right. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Okay. I just want to make sure I get all of them in there. Okay, looks good to me. All right. So let's do a sound bell before we get into it here, Leo. Just again to ground ourselves and get more in tune with the energy than we already are, just in case we need clearings, right? So just be aware it is loud. If it's loud. That is not supposed to happen. I'm glad it happened before we did it. Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't even know what that alarm was for. All right. So we're going to center ourselves and do some healing and some breathing real quickly. So if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or just listen. So, all right. Here we go, Leo. All right, Leo. Okay, deep breaths, yes. All right. So I will be putting timestamps later after the live. So if you're just tuning in later, this is going to be a general reading for Leo, fire sign Leo the Lion, for May 20th through June 20th. It's timeless reading. It's a general reading, so it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc., all the stuff. And it's a timeless reading, meaning it could resonate in the past more for you, or in the future by 6 months, 3 months, 5 months, a year. Okay, either way, in the past or the future. So yeah, always keep that in mind as well. I took a photo, and so if you want to check out the picture later in more detail, and you just want to look at it more up close, you can do that by clicking in the description box below and following the instructions there. Also, I do appreciate everyone who does like the video by clicking the like button. It helps share the video with other people, which is always a cool free way to support the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to, all you have to do is click on the bell icon in the bottom right and make sure it's blue and active, and it'll just notify you when I put out new videos. So let's go ahead and get into the reading here, dear Leo. So we are doing this new reading style that I've been doing for a little bit now, where we're going to do a 4-week time period. So the first 4 cards, each one corresponds to a week or so. All right. And then we're also going to talk about what's in the top and the bottom of each deck and your confirmation card, of course. And then we have the oracle card at the very end. All right. So we're saying that. As an example, right, it's not set in stone. The first week, the first card could be energy from May 20th through May 29th. The second one could be from May 29th to about June 6th. And the third one could be energy from about June 7th through June 13th. And then the fourth one could be energy from June 14th through about June 20th or so. Again, not exact. It could be a little bit before, a little bit after. All right. So let's go ahead and call out your cards here, Leo. You do have 4. You have 4 major arcanas. 2 of them are in the main reading. One is a confirmation card and one is from your past. One is on the top of your deck, one of the tarot decks that we're using. So that's interesting, right? It could be when you have a certain amount of more major arcana cards, it can speak of a lot of changes, okay, either coming up or right, one of them is in the past, could be something that already started to happen, changes happening in the past, recent past, or further back than that, whatever that means for you, that could be impacting the future here. But we do have, as far as other zodiac signs I see, right, we have Taurus energy with the Hierophant. We have the Death card, the Scorpio energy. We have the Moon card, which is Pisces energy. And we have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. So for some people, not everybody, it could be you're dealing with a Taurus, a Scorpio, a Pisces, or a Cancer. Or if you're dealing with one other person or multiple people, right, it could be that those zodiac energies are really predominant in your own birth chart or their birth chart, okay? Or another option, it could be something to do with the general astrology or collective unconscious at this time. So when we're on each card, I'll kind of call out the energy again, but I like to do that sometimes at the beginning before I forget. So yeah, it could be some changes definitely coming up here for you, Leo. Okay, but let's go ahead and call out your other cards here, going in order, right? So we have the Ace of Swords in the right side up position, the Two of Swords in the reverse position, the Hierophant in the reverse position, the Death card in the right side up position. Okay, and then we'll talk about the other ones as we go. All right, so we do have also, let's see, I would say, well, we have 3 swords cards. We've got a cup, the majors, and then we have a wand. Okay, so when we have predominantly, sometimes in the readings, I like to check out which minor arcana is the most prevalent. Okay, so since we have 3 swords cards, and we're about to talk about your first sword card, right? The swords in the tarot represent our intellect, our logical minds, our crown chakra. Okay, so there could be another clue there for some of you guys. But with this first card, it could be energy from the recent past, in particular, when we pick up that first set of energy for your reading. But it can be throughout your reading, right? But we have the Ace of Swords in the right side up position, right? The sword is going through the air. And that's how you want to see it, not necessarily always going through the air, but you want to always see it upright. So this represents mental clarity, cutting through boundaries and obstacles, right? Using the sword as a tool or a weapon, but here more as a tool, right? So excuse me, it is also anytime you have an ace, right? New beginnings, fresh start energy. Okay, so it could be when we're talking about, again, the swords, the mental intellect, it could be here, Leo, that mentally you are feeling more on point, right? You're feeling more focused, or a person you're dealing with is, or multiple people, general environment, right? But again, really beautiful fresh start energy, Okay, now the clouds are lifting, you're seeing things more clearly. And so this is beautiful, a beautiful way to start off your reading, right? And we said that that could be the first card about the middle of May, right? So in a few days from now, till about the end of May, really. Um, and, it is. Really also kind of speaking of, I'm trying to think of the way to say it. Well, I don't want to jump ahead, so I will tell you that in a second. But it is again just really a great way to start your reading off with, and that fresh start, clean mental energy, that crispness, the focusing on something, and again the clouds parting so you can see something clearly. But then it's interesting here, Leo, because when we have the Two of Swords in the reverse position, okay, and so there's a little bit of this like back and forth energy, right? Two steps forward, one step back, like board game as an example, right? But the Two of Swords in the reverse position, it can go kind of either way, right? It would be different for everybody, but it can be, and I feel more this for the majority of you because of the surrounding cards, that here the Two of Swords is more of an energetic blockage or stagnant energy. Somebody could still be having a hard time, let's say, unifying their crown chakra and their heart chakra, so the logical mind with their emotions or with someone else's emotions. Okay, it could also be here, Leo, that during this time period, the end of the month, because the second card we said was May 29th through June 6th. So the end of May, right? Really that first week of June, perhaps. There's this energy of somebody not ready to make a decision about something also when we have this Two of Swords energy in the reverse position, okay? Because if she's right side up, she's also blindfolded. We don't see her face, but we see the back of her head. And she has both of the swords crossing her body, right? So when it's right side up, there is somebody trying to again unify the crown chakra with their emotions, the logical mind, the heart chakra, right? But it's reversed, okay? And it's so weird because we started off your reading here with the Ace of Swords, and then we go to the Two of Swords in reverse. So it's not the end of the world, and we're going to dive into kind of why it showed up this way, okay? When we talk about what's in the top and the bottom of each deck. And it doesn't last for long, and you still have some really great things coming up. So don't worry too much, okay, Leo? But let's go ahead and I'm trying to figure out which one to talk about which. Um, well, we'll just do it the way that I laid them out because that's, usually the right way. Right? Trust your first instincts always. Okay, so with this Two of Swords in the reverse position, we'll talk about past energy, okay? This could be from why I say it twice. This could be from the recent past or further back than that, right? But what we have on the top of the deck is the Knight of Swords in reverse, and we have the Five of Cups in reverse. All right, and we're talking about that in relation to of Swords in reverse. Okay, so it looks like here, Leo, that there could have been a small offer that you gave to someone in the past or someone gave to you, an opportunity if it's not an offer, or a message from the universe, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, whatever you want to call it, that was not well received or understood or was put on hold or didn't happen at all, okay? But it caused mental confusion because, again, the sword is reversed, okay? But interestingly, that process that happened here in the past, Leo, led to the Five of Cups in reverse, which is how you want to see that card. Because when the Five of Cups is right side up, it's crying over spilled milk, right? It's only focusing on the negative or things that have gone wrong. Okay, Two of the Cups have fallen over, but there's still, or Three of the Cups, and then there's still two that are right side up. So she's only looking at the ones that have fallen, right? So, but it's reversed. That's how you want to see it. So somebody here, because Leo in the past, whether it was you yourself or the person you're dealing with or multiple people or general environment, right, was confused by an offer, opportunity that didn't come in, or was not understood. Okay. And led to this inner process of saying, okay, now I want to see things more balanced. I don't want to just focus on this offer that maybe didn't come through or wasn't understood or well received, that caused more mental confusion than it was supposed to. So here somebody decided, okay, I'm going to have a more balanced viewpoint. Okay. But here there's still this lack of balance, right? Remember, she's upside down. What is the water behind her or in front of her here is the emotions, but it's upside down. So somebody is still in this energetic blockage, or if it's not a person, an energy of not wanting to face their emotions in some way. Okay, now, yeah, I'll wait to speak about this 1 second. So going forward, though, you still have some good cards, so don't worry. But your third card here, right, that follows, you have both of your reversals or your energetic blockages here follow each other. So we go from the Two of Swords to now the Hierophant in the reverse position. That's that Taurus energy. So it could be that you here, Leo, have lost faith in a teacher, a spiritual guide, a guru, a mentor, what have you. It could be, when we talk about the Hierophant, it is schools and institutions that there's something here where maybe you're leaving school or there's a break from school for some. It could be also when we talk about your own leadership qualities that you're not feeling confident in yourself here. And it doesn't necessarily mean, when I say leadership qualities, it doesn't, let's say, mean that you are a teacher or a spiritual guru or a mentor, or a position of authority. When I say leadership, right? Leadership, it also could just be confidence, right? Confidence in yourself. So maybe there's an energetic blockage or lack of confidence here for some too. But let's go ahead and talk about it with what's on the top and the bottom of each of your deck here. Now here we have the Chariot in the right side of position and the King of Staves in the reverse position. This is again past energy, and we're talking about it with the Hierophant in the reverse. So it's like in the past, there was for momentum and abundance. There could have been you, Leo, right? In this deck, there's two lions instead of two gargoyles or two pharaohs that sometimes they show in other decks. Here they're two lions, right? That masculine and feminine energy that we all have inside of us that's being balanced for this man on the chariot to move forward. Okay, so he's bursting through also the water energy, right? Cancer being a water sign. Okay, Cancer is the energy in this card in the tarot, right? It's the official chariot Cancer card here, right? But he's charging through the water. So it's almost like fire and water are working together here. Since Leo, you are the lion, right? We see lions here. But then in the past, there was this, again, back and forth energy. On one side, somebody or this energy was feeling very, hold on. Technical difficulties. My dragon, sorry, got stuck. Somebody was feeling very confident and going forward, but then there was maybe this energy of not quite ready to step into a leadership role or to take on the confidence. Okay, because again, you have another lion, right? Even though he's upside down, just so you can see him here first. You have two more lions. Okay, so technically you have, 4 lions here. All right, Leo. And this is past energy. So it's like it could have been that there was this energy of not quite ready to level up in some area of your life in the recent past. Perhaps it just was as simple as it wasn't the right time for you here, Leo, or the person you're dealing with, or multiple people that you're dealing with. But it is, I'm trying to think of the way to say it. It's almost like this energy of somebody, again, if we just look at it, okay, let's break it down. Sorry. If we just look at it and let's say these two cards, okay? Somebody doesn't want to be a leader for others or be in their own power, feeling their confidence, their highest level of themselves, okay? Somebody doesn't necessarily want the responsibilities or their lost trust and faith in someone that used to represent this for them, right? So you have masculine energy, you have a man here, and you have a woman here, right? So it's both that we all have inside of us. So yeah, it's just a little bit of an energetic blockage, and it simply could have been that in the past it wasn't quite the right time here, Leo. But let's move forward, okay? Because I don't want to get lost in that. Because your fourth card, your last one in the main set of readings here, the 4 weeks that we're talking about, is the Death card, and that's such a beautiful card. Okay, so it doesn't mean that someone's gonna die or something bad like that, right? It's talking about the dying of the old to make room for the new. Okay, it's a metaphor. And here you have also at the top of the card the owl, the wisdom. We have the water, the emotions. So when you master the emotions, right, you get wisdom. When you clear out the closet, when I see the Death card, I always think of spring cleaning, right? So donate some of those clothes or get rid of the clothes that you never wear, whatever you want to do. So then you have room for more clothes, right? Because you can't just necessarily make your closet bigger. It would just be easier to clear out the old cobwebs and that kind of stuff. So it's like almost when we see the Death card here, Leo, too, now it's finally time for that new beginning. Okay, endings and new beginnings with the Death card. And we're saying that that could be the week of June 14th through June 20th as an example. It could be a little bit before, a little bit after, right? But it's beautiful, okay? When you think of the Death card and the way that it's shown in this deck too, it's like really macabre, right? It's a little girl playing with a skull, right? But what it's the metaphor is somebody died, but then somebody was born, right? We're talking about funerals and weddings, baptisms, right? Like the life keeps moving and turning, and something is recycled into something new. Energy never dies, right? It's recycled. Okay. So there is this new recycled energy here for you, Leo, but there is also it is time now for you to turn on the light. Okay. I'm gonna use my little candle here because it's about to die anyway. Your confirmation card here, we only have one this time, is confirming all 4 of these cards. It's the moon in the reverse position. It's perfect. That's how you want to see the card, okay? If the moon was right side up, hold on, hopefully I won't burn myself. If the moon was right side up, there would be no light, right? She's in shadow. She doesn't have enough information, okay? She's in shadow. Okay, but the moon is now reversed, so now there's light. Okay? There is, Leo, the death, the new beginnings and endings, clearing of the old to make room for the new. There is also now more clarity. Because when the moon card is right side up, I always say it's like you're at someone's house and you see a cat tree or a light or an umbrella stand or a coat rack, right? And so when the light is on, you're like, oh yeah, I know what that is. I can see it. When the light is turned off and you're half asleep or you're walking to get water, what have you, you don't know what it is at first. It's not your house, so you're not memorized where things are, so you can't see. The moon is like that when it's right side up. You cannot see yet. There's still something that is hidden, right? But here, now there is clarity. There is master of emotions. Again, the water in the background. Because the moon here, it has wisdom in it when it's right side up. And again, Pisces energy being the moon card. There's little tiny droplets, okay? These leaves or these droplets here represent illumination, light. Hopefully you can see it, those little leaves over here. Represents illumination, light, spiritual downloads. Oh, now I finally understand something. So here they're kind of in the background. She's like, oh, I don't know. Is it here? She's all playful, right? This little lady. But here it's now coming down. It's coming into that person's mind or multiple people's minds or energy in general. So I really feel here, Leo, just to sum up, that towards the middle of June and even, the end of June, let's say for some, right? It's not exact. There's going to be these endings and new beginnings. There's going to be more clarity. And you started off, I mean, even if you look at it just like this again, you started off your reading with Ace of Swords, mental clarity, cutting out obstacles, clearing your path, right? Using the sword as a tool, not just a weapon. To here, having the same thing, to having more light, okay? Having more mental clarity, seeing things clearly. So I love it, okay? Because I will say this because I have a lot of fire in my own chart, right? I'm a sun sign Sagittarius. That sometimes that passion, the energy, the emotions, if you just lead with that, right, you can get yourself in trouble. So we need our intuition and our emotions, but we also need our logical mind. All right. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm just kidding. All right, Leo, let's get to your card because your card here is really juicy, or it looks juicy. So this is your Rumi card, Oracle card. All right, so Rumi was a 13th century Persian poet, and he was one of my favorites, or he is one of my favorites. And so Elena Fairchild took some of his poetry and put it together with this beautiful artist imagery for each poem that he did, and it's really beautiful. So anyway, Leo, the one you got here today is card number 35, and it's the lover and the beloved. Okay, you look these two people in an embrace here. So very nice. Let's get into the poem here. Okay. When you move beyond consciousness, you caress the beloved. When you move into the unknown, beyond everything, the beloved caresses you. It is not enough to love me. I want you to allow me to love you. It is not enough to desire me, to want to be closer to me. I want to reach out to you and grab a hold of you, drawing you into me and never letting you be apart from me again. There is so much more for us to experience, you and me, than simply gazing, even with love, at each other from a distance. Let me take you into my arms. Let me hold you until we cease to know or care about where you and I once were. You and I, for instead we will be one. Will you allow it? Will you allow me? Will you allow us to be? Okay, so that's really pretty. And then my commercial came on. Let me turn that down. So this is really, if you look at it just two, right, we're talking about that light and that dark. There's a dark figure and there's a light figure, and they're kind of dancing in the background, and they kind of come into each other and go out, right? So it says, "Oh, sweet beloved, the divine, the great beloved has a passionate desire for you to love me, for you to touch me, to make the divine presence known to you, so that you will cease to fear the darkness, and you will take delight in all of life and become mesmerized by the beauty of love and its endless manifestations." Maybe it's animated, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the ritual here, the meditation. But before that, there is one more thing that just caught my eye. It says, when you get this message, this oracle brings you something that says something, it brings you the message that something has to change in your physical world. You are in need of more substance, more love, more connection, more nourishment that touches your body and your soul and brings them into deeper oneness with each other, with life, and with love. Dare you to open up and allow that love in. The great beloved has desired that this be so. Will you heed the holy desire? Will you allow love in? Say yes. All right. And here is the meditation. It says, place your hands in prayer and say, may the almighty divine love and my most beloved brother, Rumi, bless me with the ability to truly receive in all ways divine abundance and prosperity, being delivered to me now by the grace and the mercy of the heavens. May I clear and heal any resistance to receiving life truly, that I may obtain my divine destiny and know and receive love truly in all its majesty. So be it. Wow, that's so pretty. Beautiful. All right. I love it here for you, Leo. So hopefully you found something from this message that is good for you and you got something from it, right? That's always the goal. All right, so Leo, again, I did take a picture. I'll post it in a little while. If you want to see more up close, again, the cards, you can just go in the description box below and follow the instructions there. But yeah, that is your reading here, Leo. Enjoy this time period. Always feel free, guys, on either the Cancer or the Leo or any of the readings that I do, videos on my channel. Feel free to comment if you want. So yeah, we're gonna start back up tomorrow with Virgo and Libra. All right, so feel free to join us for that too. Join us. When I say us, you're like, girl, it's only you. Talking about spirit. These are messages from spirit. All right, so we always call our guides and we call all positive energy in, and the universe is giving us signs and messages. Okay, so when I say us, that's who I'm talking about. I don't have split personality, I don't think. But anyway, guys, all jokes aside, I hope you enjoyed this time period. Thank you for the likes and for the subscriptions, all free ways to support the channel. So I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.